So yeah, my gig. I'm gonna talk about it right now because it's fresh in my head, and then in a minute you can go after. Or you can jump in the middle and just say, dude, that gig is boring as fuck. I just want to go in and talk about mine. But we went
my
to
gigs were
this-
OnlyFans. I did OnlyFans for like 3 weeks. I'm actually gonna retire from filmmaking. I think OnlyFans is
Dude,
nice.
honestly, if I did OnlyFans for like a couple weeks, bro, I'd be done with this. No more
The money you're making from OnlyFans.
bro. No more films.
Right.
So anyways, we might have to cut that part out. No, just kidding.
No, I'm leaving it in.
So
Just make sure to tag your OnlyFans underneath.
yeah. I'll leave my OnlyFans right here.
This is for Patreon.
Yeah.
Even though we don't have any.
That always sounds fancier, right? When it's Patreon, you're like, okay, that's fine. And then you go click on
Check
my
out
link,
the
and you're like,
Patreon.
You're like, I paid for this.
you click on our link, you're like, it's just like OnlyFans. It's just like OnlyFans.
Patreon's gonna be videos of us reacting to Fernando's OnlyFans. All of them.
Anyways, so we went to, so I have this production company here that's like, I have my production company and I have this one that's like really good friends with me, and we just do a lot of gigs together. Sometimes I hire them, sometimes they hire me. Our companies hire each other, so it's really nice how we work together here. And they're just like us. Like, I see a lot of similarities between how you guys work and how they work. I can throw them in any different positions on set and they're kind of gonna figure it out. So they love what they do. They have passion for it from pre-production to post. And on that day, I was hired by them to be what we here call a filmmaker, which is literally a guy that will have the camera and do every kind of capture, video capturing and audio capturing on that day. It's a filmmaker. It's literally what that position's called here in Brazil. It's more of like I would say a videographer in the US. Mm-hmm. It's more of a videographer, but we don't have a word for that, and we say literally filmmaker, like the word in English. And anyways, it's fancier, it sounds fancier. I'm not gonna lie though, it's being very, how can I say this? Everyone's calling themselves a filmmaker now. So you got a camera and you're a filmmaker. Whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
I have my
it's
iPhone,
good.
and I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah, it's good and bad. It's good and bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, one side
Mostly
is good
bad,
because,
but good.
Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly. One side is good because everyone's able to do it, and it's like the democratization of filmmaking. The other side is that anyone's calling themselves that, so the level of work is just getting really bad. But that's a whole different thing. I think we can have a whole episode on that. But the whole thing was to go to this brand that basically makes, so they have their own like factory here. It's not in São Paulo, but it's in the state. It's in a smaller town, like a few miles, or I guess a couple hundred miles away from here. So it's like a couple hours drive. And they make construction material, and it's like the second biggest in Brazil. It's huge. It's like a whole city with just employees and different departments.
Like
just,
vlogs and stuff.
Just making
everything.
things. Like the main thing they make is paint, and they make materials to like, you know, the stuff to, I don't know the technical terms in English to be honest, but stuff that you put
It's
on
a
like
Home Depot.
windows. Well, kind of like Home Depot, but they make the materials that would go to be sold on Home Depot. So it's a B2B, business to business situation.
Gotcha.
Are you making a commercial about that, or you're working?
So we were making a commercial. So I was making paint. No, just kidding. We were making.
So I quit being a filmmaker, and now I do paint.
So I just
the
moved,
creative paint.
I just moved to that city, and now I'm making construction materials.
The things
That's
we
my
do.
name, by the way.
The things we do to support our business.
Right? I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. No, but I was hired to be a filmmaker on that gig where we were just showing the whole brand, showing everyone, you know, the main departments that work there and whatnot. And we did it in the brand video way, which we do a lot, the brand film, where you go and you capture very cinematic shots. You get a little bit of interviews. You get a little bit of behind the scenes of how the actual work is done. and then the final product. So it was really nice. We got to see like the paint being created and then the paint going to like the final stage and how it's like
I love
applied to
that.
like a house or something.
It's so nice to watch, like the mixing paint. Like I love
Yeah,
it.
it was super colorful for sure, and I love that aspect of it.
Whoop, whoop,
But I was
whoop.
gonna say this whole thing was like huge, and we started at like 6 a.m. and we got done at like I don't even know 9 p.m. or something. 6 a.m. we were there. I woke up at 5 that day.
God.
Yeah, and we got done at like dude, and I'm like dad over here. I have the gimbal, and my friend's like, "What do you think of one more take?" I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I feel
and
you.
Then, and dude,
I know.
the client's right there. You know what I mean? Like there's no room to negotiate with the guy. Like he has to do this to finish. Either way, we did something really different, which is we did so I just did capturing that day, only really filming and no editing, nothing like that. It's also really cool. I don't know how often you guys do that, but to just go, do it, and you're done. You just
Yeah,
give
I
the
do it
footage
all.
to them.
I love
Dude,
it.
That was like, yeah, that's Emmanuel's favorite. But that's what I mean with like events, like live production. You just go, do your thing, and
Boom,
then you can go
done.
sleep. Well,
That's good because
But-
as business owners for us who own production companies, it's like you always have to contact the client, make sure they're getting what they need, make sure you're editing what they need, or you're hiring someone to edit it. They got to be happy with it. When you get hired for a freelance gig like this, you just get your work done, send it to them. You're free. You don't have no headaches. You don't have to worry about that again. So as long as you're doing a good job, that's it. So there's
As long
something
as
good
everything's
about that.
exposed.
That's sweet.
As
Yeah.
long as you record without a lens cap on, then you should be good.
Yeah.
well,
Exactly.
in fact, being a gaffer though is a lot of that. You just go,
Yeah.
Show up and leave.
do your thing, and then leave.
My lens cap is on this whole time, by the
It's
way.
like you discover my little secret. Yeah,
But
it's nice.
I think it's a great workflow for. I know a lot of videographers I'm friends with that all they do is just video and then they never touch the final product. They just give it to somebody else, and it's a faster turnaround because they could do 5 different gigs each day or each week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you just charge your batteries and then just boom, 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 boom.
And you make money with that, man, honestly. You make money with that. If you're just doing that every day. Even here, like, you can make good money. For here, at least, the key is to have good contacts with different production companies so that every day you're doing something. Every single day you have some different kind of gig that you're working on. You know what I mean? One thing that we used that was different, though, that's the one thing that I think would be cool to, because everything else we've done. I mean, we've done gimbal, we've done close-ups, exterior, establishing shots, moving, all that stuff, interviews. We've done all of that. One thing that was awesome that we did was we rented out this GoPro, the newer one that does 360, and we put that over a, I don't even know what they're called, but those things that you move around
Crane.
inside, like, dude, it's kind of like a crane, but you move like boxes with it.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the word in
Oh,
English for
forklift.
it. Yeah, that thing. And we put a camera over that on like a monopod, kind of like stuck it to it with like